let's be honest, the last few years in the housing market have been, well, chaotic to say the least. So if you're looking at Orlando real estate in 2026, you're probably wondering, what in the world is going on now? Well, we're going to break it all down for you. Let's get right into it.
So let's just get straight to the point. This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Whether you're thinking about buying, selling, or just watching from the sidelines, you want to know, are we about to go over a cliff? It's a totally valid concern, so let's get you an answer.
And right there, that's your answer. The key word isn't crash, it's normalizing. So don't picture a sudden scary drop. Instead, think of it like the market finally taking a deep breath, like a pendulum slowing down and finding its center. This idea of a rebalance is exactly what we're going to explore.
Now, to really get what's happening in Orlando, we've got to zoom out for a second. The story here is actually part of a much bigger shift that's happening across the entire state of Florida, and there are two big drivers behind it: insurance and interest rates.
17. Now that might not sound like a huge number, but in the world of property insurance, especially in Florida, believe me, that is a massive deal. After some big legislative changes, 17 new insurers have jumped into the Florida market. That means more confidence, and more importantly, more competition. And that's fantastic news for homeowners.
Okay, so what does all that new competition actually do for you? Well, it's helping to finally calm down one of the biggest, most unpredictable costs of owning a home in Florida. When premium hikes start to slow down, it makes your budget more predictable and home ownership more affordable. And that is a huge relief for, well, everyone.
All right, that's the insurance piece. Now for the other half of the equation, mortgage rates. Economists are predicting that rates are going to continue to ease up, getting down closer to that 6% mark in 2026. After seeing rates climb past 7%, this trend downward is a really big deal, both financially and psychologically.
And you can already see the ripple effect. Even a small drop in rates unlocks the door for thousands of people who've been stuck on the sidelines, completely priced out of the market. I mean, just in Orlando, a drop from 7% to 6% could bring more than 6,000 buyers a month back into the game. Think about that.
Okay, so we've got the big picture for Florida. Now let's grab our magnifying glass and zoom right in on the Orlando metro area. We're going to look at the hard data to see exactly how this return to balance is playing out right here at home.
Yeah, remember those days? Bidding wars, offers 50 grand over asking, waiving every possible inspection? Well, you can pretty much say goodbye to all that. The frantic, frenzied pace is officially over, and we're moving into a calmer, more thoughtful market. Let's dig into the numbers from this past January. Now, don't let some of these stats scare you. Yeah, the median price dipped a tiny bit and sales were down, but that's totally normal for January. The real story here, the big headline, is the inventory and new listings. I mean, look at that. New listings jumped nearly 60%. That right there is the rebalancing we're talking about, happening in real time.
Now this number is fascinating. 81. What's that? That's the average number of days it took to sell a house in January. And get this, we haven't seen a number that high in Orlando in a full decade, not since 2016. So, what does 81 days on the market really mean if you're looking to buy? It means you can breathe again. The crazy high-pressure rush is gone. You actually have time. Time to see a few houses, time to get a proper inspection, time to actually negotiate. It's a complete game changer.
And that leads us to another really important number, 7.19 months. That's how much housing supply is on the market in Orlando right now. It basically means if no new homes were listed, it would take just over 7 months to sell everything that's currently for sale.
So is 7.19 months a lot or a little? Well, the magic number in real estate is 6 months. That's considered a perfectly balanced market, where neither buyers nor sellers really have the upper hand. So with Orlando sitting at over 7 months of inventory, yep, the scale has officially tipped just a little in favor of buyers. And man, what a change from the last few years.
Of course, buying isn't the only option, right? There are a ton of renters in Orlando. And if you're one of them, you're probably doing the math constantly, wondering, should I keep renting, or is now the time to finally make a move? So let's look at the hard numbers.
All right, take a look. On one side, the median rent for a typical apartment is sitting around $1,650 a month. On the other side, a mortgage payment on a median-priced home is closer to $2,040. So yes, on a month-to-month basis, renting is still cheaper. But, and this is a big but, that gap is getting smaller and smaller as mortgage rates continue to ease down.
And just to give you some perspective, where does Orlando's rent fit into the rest of Florida?
Well, it's pretty much neck and neck with Tampa. It's way, way cheaper than Miami, which is no surprise, and it's just a little bit pricier than Jacksonville. So Orlando's really right there in the middle of the pack, a desirable city, but without the crazy rental prices you see in South Florida.
Okay, we've thrown a lot of numbers and charts at you, so let's boil it all down. What's your personal game plan for 2026? Whether you're thinking about buying or you're getting ready to sell, here's what you need to know.
All right, buyers, listen up, because this is your moment. You have more choices, you have real negotiating power again, and most importantly, you have time. The panic buying is over. This is a golden window of opportunity to find the right home before that wave of sideline buyers comes rushing back into the market. Now for sellers, the game has totally changed. You can't just throw a sign in the yard and expect 20 offers by dinner time. Pricing your home correctly, right from day one, is everything. How your home looks, the staging, the photos, it matters more now than ever. You should expect it to take a little longer, and you should be ready to negotiate. But hey, the sky isn't falling. A great house in a great neighborhood with top schools, that will always be in high demand.
And this quote right here from the president of the Orlando Realtors Association just wraps it all up perfectly. He uses that word again, normalization. The market is moving at a healthier pace. You see, that's not a sign of a problem, it's the sign of a solution. This is about building long-term stability for our whole region.
And that really brings us to the big final question, doesn't it? The market is finding its balance right now, which is fantastic news for buyers. But let's not forget, Orlando's economy is still booming. People are moving here every day, jobs are being created left and right. That underlying demand is a really powerful force. So while this window of opportunity is open right now, you have to ask yourself, just how long will it stay open?